Alright, today I'm going to show you how to get the HEXALIA mod. In Minecraft, HEXALIA is a mod that adds tons of content directly to our world. New biomes, wild plants, agricultural blocks, rituals, a brewing system, and basically much more. So, how can we get HEXALIA? Well, to get HEXALIA, we'll head to CurseForge, search for HEXALIA, which as you can see has almost 2 million users. It was created on March 25th, 2024. And to download it, we'll go to Files, look for Mod Loader, select Forge or whatever mod loader you prefer, choose 1.20.1, click just 3 buttons and get File. We'll also need to go to the Relations section and download GeckoLib, okay? We're going to need that too. We also have Patchouli Justice of Items, and if we press Windows plus R and type app data, click OK, then go to roaming.minecraft and into the mods folder. This is where we'll save the HEXALIA mod itself without any issues, okay? As you can see, I've got GeckoLib and that's it. Now we can start playing. I recommend using Patchouli to access the Verdant Grimoire, okay? It's illustrated with these elements here, giving us access to all the information the mod provides about the different elements and more. So yeah, it's that simple. Alright, how can we craft and use the mortar and pestle? Well, basically, the mortar and pestle is a key HEXALIA tool that helps us convert plants into crafting ingredients. Basically, to craft it, you need stone and a bowl, and the tool has 64 durability. Each use reduces the durability, basically. It's used inside the crafting table, okay, to process the different elements from the mod. This lets us get yarn, dream paste, salt, okay? Basically grinding salt sprout, spirit powder, ghost powder, siren paste. We can enchant it with unbreaking, but for example, we can take spirit bloom and turn it into spirit powder or ghost fern into ghost powder and so on. So that's how we can obtain these elements. Alright, how can we make infused dirt and multiply flowers? Basically, Minecraft HEXALIA lets you create infused dirt with a simple recipe. Just dirt and siren kelp. Siren kelp, so you can see what it looks like, appears like this, okay? It's literally this faint-looking plant that appears in water, and we also have infused farmland, right? To multiply plants, you use normal infused dirt, not the ploughed block. The mechanic is simple. Place infused dirt and plant a HEXALIA flower or plant on top, like a spirit bloom, okay? We place it on top, use bone meal, and we can duplicate the plant, see? There it is. If we planted it out here instead and tried using bone meal, as you can see, it doesn't work, right? In fact, it doesn't seem to work with all plant types either, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. Basically, I think it works with elements we can use in the mortar and pestle. I'm guessing these are items we need in large quantities or somewhat larger amounts. So yeah, it's that simple. Alright, how can we use infused farmland without water? Basically, in Minecraft with HEXALIA, we can convert infused dirt into infused farmland using a hoe. This gives us several advantages. It doesn't require water for crops to grow. It won't revert to dirt without water. We can walk and jump on it without destroying crops. And it has a bubble visual effect when walking on it, theoretically, okay? Well, I don't know, but there it is. If we use a shovel, right, and right-click, it will turn back into infused dirt, okay? That's also a positive thing. Also, for the salt sprout, for example, this element here, it normally needs sand blocks nearby, but with this infused farmland, it doesn't need them. So basically, it's a universal soil for building compact farms without depending on irrigation and such. I'm also going to check if putting a block on top and breaking it turns it into infused dirt too, okay? So you'll lose the infused farmland if you place a block. Alright, inside HEXALIA we have salt, okay? How can we use salt? How can we get it and use it for purifying salts? Basically, in HEXALIA makers, salt is introduced as a multi-purpose resource, okay? It says salt appears in desert biomes, in salt oases, small areas with salt sprouts and salt blocks that we can extract, basically blocks like this, okay? So we would find these blocks in the desert, and well, the rest is history, friends. So salt can be obtained in 2 ways. Well, we would get this salt sprout. I understand that by breaking this block. Let's see. It breaks with a pickaxe too. Let's go there. Stone pickaxe. Break the block and look there. We get the salt. Okay. Or we can also get the salt sprout. The salt sprout is this. Well, not now. I'm going to use a hoe. It's this plant. It's the plant, okay? The salt sprout, when it grows, gives us salt sprout, which we grind with the mortar and pestle, okay? We put it on a casting table and can make salt without any problem. And what is salt used for? Well, to make salt lamps, as we can see, to make purifying salts, okay? Purify idle, there we have it. To make leather? To make purifying sack? It removes negative effects from the user and can be thrown away too, okay? And that's it. Not much else. We can make leather from rotten flesh using salt, which isn't bad at all. Alright, let me show you the mandrake here. How can we obtain and use it? Well, basically in Minecraft, with HEXALIA, it adds the wild mandrake, okay? It's basically this little plant here. I don't know if I have bone meal, but if I make it grow, that's what it looks like, see? The plant will give us mandrake seeds, okay? We need to plant it on infused farmland, otherwise it won't grow. The main use of mandrake is as a defensive tool. When activated, it applies a stun effect in an area around the player. Let's see, there it is. It basically lets out a squeal and stuns everything around it, I think. I'm not sure if it gets used up, I assume it does, right? Let's see, there it is. Yes, it does get consumed. It's also recommended to use earplugs, okay? So we're not affected by the stun effect ourselves, although I haven't noticed it affecting me. Let's see. Okay. No, it doesn't seem to stun me or affect me in any way, but theoretically you can use the earplugs. It also appears as an ingredient in mod recipes like mandrake stew. It's found in forests, as mentioned here, and can be used in the small cauldron to make a spiked skin post, so it's important. Alright, how can we get sunfire tomatoes? Basically, in Minecraft with HEXALIA, the sunfire tomato appears in savant biomes or barren huts. It can also appear in salt oases in deserts, and there's a risk when interacting with it. Stepping on it can temporarily set you on fire, okay? Let's try to grow one, so we'll plant it and let it grow, okay? And theoretically I should be able to, well there it is, it's applied fire to me, see? And also poison and everything else. I think that was from the unclear, but anyway, it can set me on fire. As you can see, it emits these particles and such. I'm not sure if it was this one. It's the wild... Oh, okay, I see. It's the wild sunfire tomato that's here. Well, what a coincidence. So it's actually the one right next to it, okay? Also, when we break it, we get sunfire tomato seeds, which we can plant and do what we have now. Plus, a wild plant only gives us one seed, so it's quite worth replanting. And, well, you can use the sunfire tomato in the mandarin stew, okay? Which is this here, the small cauldron, and make ourselves a day bloom. We can also make a spicy sandwich, mandrake stew, look, and more. So it's that simple. Theoretically, it seems it gives us half a drumstick of food and half a drumstick of saturation, since it's not a great meal. But hey, there we have it. Alright, how can we make chilberry pie in Minecraft COD HEXALIA? Basically, where do chilberries first appear? Well, they appear in the taiga and snowy taiga biomes, founding taigas, as it tells us. For utilities, they're used for the frost sack, which we can throw, and for chilberry pie. These are the bushes here. Let's make them grow, okay? When you walk over them, they freeze you. In fact, I think there's already one in the hut. Look, there it is. In this hut that occasionally appears in mangrove swamps or regular swamps, I'm not sure. Basically, they work similar to sweet berries, but with one key difference. They freeze and slow you down. And chilberries obviously can be planted to get more bushes if we want. The chilberry pie restores hunger and saturation and gives fire protection for 45 seconds. So there you have it. As you can see, the recipe is an egg, wheat, sugar, and chilberries. Alright, how can we perform the moonlight ritual? In Minecraft with HEXALIA, you can prepare a simple moonlight ritual, okay? First, the main requirement is that it must be nighttime, okay? And the item must be imbued by the moonlight. We're going to need a ritual brazier, okay? Which is made... I don't see the crafting recipe, honestly. I don't know if you can find it somewhere. But anyway, it allows us, as you can see, to convert different elements, okay? With moonlight. There it shows this little effect, and it would convert amethyst shard to celestial crystal, glowberry to galeberries, and amethyst block to celestial crystal block. So basically we take this item, place an amethyst shard on it, right click for hex focus, and it says, not enough celestial blooms nearby, which is this plant here. We place it right click, it consumes the celestial bloom's energy, and there it gives us, as you can see, the celestial crystal. So basically, this is how you can perform the Moonlight ritual, which allows you to obtain moonberries. After all, the hex focus is crafted like this, using an amethyst shard and other materials. And now let's look at the brazier ritual, which allows me to get, the galeberries. Galeberries basically can be placed as solid blocks and they provide light, okay? It's not letting me place it right now, to be honest. There it is, see? So we can place them like this and they'll give us light without any issues. They look pretty cool, huh? So yeah, it's that simple. Alright. How can we use a Dreamcatcher against phantoms? In Minecraft with HEXALIA, they've added a Dreamcatcher block as a specific defense against phantoms. And what does it do? Any phantom that enters its radius gets lit up, okay? If I do this, spawn a phantom and make it appear, theoretically it should light up. The radius is large and can attract phantoms from a long distance. So we need to place it on top of our base. Basically, we need to place it at our base. The crafting recipe is this, fire note, string and other materials. The fire note is obtained with the ritual table by performing a ritual with an amethyst shard, coal and sunflower, okay? Well, basically what we do, I understand, is set up the ritual table, ritual blazer, and what we do now would be, let's look at it again. Coal, amethyst shard and sunflower. Okay, so we put the amethyst shard here in the center, coal, I said sunflower, didn't I? Sunflower, there it is. We take these elements, place them, and now right-click with the hex. It says, the brazier's lack of salt. Okay, we need salt. I think we need salt blocks. I don't know. No, just regular salt. Let's see. I throw it. No. I put it in a ritual brazier. No. Sorry, I get it now. I have to put salt in the braziers with the items. Now it works, right? Natural energy is weak. Fully grown crops are missing. Okay, I need natural energy, right? I like how it guides you. It's quite intuitive, actually, huh? Now let's grab. I think normal seeds work, or maybe not even this. If I do this, plant it, apply bone meal, right-click. Nothing? Needs more. Something else. I guess these are items from the mod. Look, it's emitting particles there. Okay, I understand now. We need more. And there I have it, there I have it, there I have it. And okay, that's where the crops have gone. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that needed to be nearby. So now we have the fire note, right? Now we just pick it up, right-click, and there we go. Now we can get the Dreamcatcher. The Dreamcatcher, which is what I was looking for, is placed on a wall. Just mount it, and that's it, okay? So if I have this here, and a phantom spawns, it will start burning because of the Dreamcatchers. If I break the Dreamcatchers now, it should stop burning. It should. But yeah, it's that simple, okay? That simple. Well, how can we get silk fiber and capture moths in Minecraft with HEXALIA? So basically, where do they appear? Well, basically they spawn in the mod's bayou, which is related to HEXALIA's environment. They can also appear in dark oak forests, okay? These bugs or the cocoons, the silkworms, right? These silkworms can also appear in dark forests without any problems. So how do you get it? Well, basically we need to kill silkworms and moths, and that's how we get the fiber, okay? Theoretically, moths are attracted to, or they're drawn to light, okay? So as you'll see, they'll get pretty close to light sources like this lamp and others. They can also be captured with a rustic bottle, okay? Which is crafted like this. We right-click and capture it without any problem. If we had inventory space, there it is, okay? I'll also keep in mind, you see they all go to the same spot. It's because they're drawn to light. So yeah, it's that simple. The silk fiber is then used to make things like ghost veils, silk idols, boots, strings, cobwebs. That's it. Alright, how can we craft the ghost veil and bogged boots? Well, here we have the ghost veil and bogged boots, which basically in Minecraft with HEXALIA offers equipment with clear utility functions. Okay? First, we have the ghost veil, which is made with 3 leather, 2 silk fiber, and 3 ghost ferns, right? It's basically a chess piece oriented towards stealth, okay? When you crouch, okay? If you have it equipped, when you crouch, the wearer becomes invisible and reduces mob detection. It has limitations, mainly that while sneaking, the item loses durability, so it doesn't last forever. It's also mentioned that its stats are similar to leather armor, but hey, it allows us to be something like a rogue, right? And then we have the bogged boots. The bogged boots give you dolphin's grace while you're in water, okay? Something very interesting too. Let's try to put them on or completely submerge in water, okay? Theoretically, they should apply the effect sooner or later. They don't give water breathing, but improve movement and underwater speed, and also have stats similar to leather armor. So how do you craft each of these items? Well, basically with silk fiber, witch wheat, and dried kelp for the bogged boots, and leather, silk fiber, and ghost fern for the ghost veil. It's that simple. Alright, how do we use enchanted flowers? Well, here's the thing. Minecraft with HEXALIA adds enchanted flowers created by transmuting vanilla flowers and other items. For example, we have the lily of the valley, which can be transformed into an astrilis. We're doing this through a ritual using earth note, bone meal, celestial crystal, and glowstone dust. I've already shown you how to get these items without any trouble. Then we have the astrilis, which is an enchanted plant. Its main effect is transmuting blocks in a 9x9 area around it, like magma blocks to lava, snow blocks to paketis, ice to blue ice, soul sand to soul soil, and more. That would be the Morphora plant, for example, the one that changes blocks. Then we also have the Grimshade. As for Morphora, let's see how it's made with Dream Paste, which comes from Dream's Room, Tree Risen, Hertz, and a few other things. Then there's the Grimshade, which is this other plant here that basically requires activation with the Hex Focus. You know, the wand? There it is. Look, I've activated it there. Let's see if I can activate it again. There it is. And basically what it does is turn skeletons into wither skeletons and convert skeleton skulls into wither skeleton skulls. And it can spawn red wither roses with a small chance when activated. Then there's also the Nautilite. There are a few. Then there's also the Nautilite, which basically is planted underwater and also requires activation with Hex Focus. And it gives conduit power to nearby players within 16 blocks for 2 minutes. During that time, guardians and draw nets take magic damage and mining fatigue is removed. So it's pretty broken really. We also have the Windsong, which requires Hex Focus activation and creates a 5x5 barrier that nullifies projectiles on impact. It's also broken. And while it's active, it periodically applies bone meal to crops and saplings for 2 minutes. So we have the Trillies, which is the one we were talking about at the beginning. It activates when fed a moon crystal during the night. So let's give it the celestial crystal. And it says celestial energy seeps into the crops and saplings. Basically, while active, it periodically applies bone meal to crops and saplings for 2 minutes. Yes, exactly. And the Windsong. This one creates a 5x5 barrier against projectiles. The Strelis is the one that applies bone meal to everything around it. So that's super interesting. Each flower has its own crafting recipe, which I recommend checking through JI, and that's it. It's that simple. Alright, how can we do brewing? This will finish our explanation of the HEXALIA mod. With brewing, you can prepare brews with a specific process and fixed duration, okay? First, we need to craft a small cauldron to access all the potions. Underneath, we'll place a heat source like a rustic oven, which is crafted like this, and the small cauldron is crafted this other way. It might be cobblestone, I think, right? Oh no, it has to be cobble and deep slate specifically. For interaction, basically we'll take a rustic bottle, okay? We'll open the small cauldron interface and place it here. Then we'd add 3 ingredients to get the process we want. All brews have a fixed duration of 4 minutes from what I can see. Those that have a duration, of course. And basically the different brews that exist, there's Spike Skin, which is basically made with ghost powder, cactus, and mandrake. And what it does is give armor toughness and reflect part of the damage received. Then there's Bloodlust, which increases strength and heals a portion of the damage you deal. There's Slime Walker, which negates fall damage, and when crouching also propels you upward. It can be repeated. Then we have Homestead, which I'm not seeing right now. It's this one here, the Homestead, that teleports you to the spawn point, okay? Important. We have Siphon, which increases mining speed and attracts items from further away, like having a magnet. We also have Daybloom, which gives movement speed and regeneration only during daytime. In dark areas, it will damage us. And Arachnid Grace, which basically allows us to move through cobwebs, climb vertical walls, and gives immunity to poison. Also, there's a brewing shelf, right? Let's look for it. Look, it's this one here, right? Shelf. I honestly don't know how to place it. Ah, just like that. Can I place it anywhere or just in the oven? It seems I can only place it in the oven. Oh wait, it can go anywhere actually. Look, in fact, it's here. They put it on top. It won't let me. I broke the block that was here by accident. But hey, it lets you place it on wood. So you can put it on top of a block, you know? It's weird how it works. But on this shelf, we can basically place the brews, right? I'm going to grab a few there. Tuku, 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 tuku. Right click, cry. Oh, how cool, how cool, how cool. Super, super cool, really. Super, super cool. Oh my goodness, what a mod. What a mod. This mod is awesome. Huh? Obviously, there are many more items and things, okay? But the reality is that this mod is pretty complete, huh? And there are items, as I mentioned, like the athame, right? This dagger that we use for rituals, I believe. There are also some weapons like the Killwave blade, okay? Some more decorative elements too. I've seen some necklaces around. Take a look at all this stuff, alright? Along with the book itself. I've just covered the things I considered most relevant, but the mod has several other features you can take advantage of. It's super interesting, small, but I really like how it's designed. It would be cool if it had custom biomes. It does have biomes now, but they're not specific. I think it has huge potential and could be developed much further. What's there is already great and looks beautiful, which is awesome. So there you have the mod. Hope you enjoyed it.